Hive provides counsel to the community. We're here for you. Tonight we have Trip Bigfoot for your listening pleasure.
On a magic carpet ride, you can touch out to the moon and camp on the dark side. You can go on further out and dance on Saturn's rings. Oh, but you know down in your heart you can't do the right thing. You can't do the right thing. You can do the mashed potato, dance like Charlie Brown, can dress like Spider-Man, walk around downtown. You can wrap the whole world up in all the webs you sling. But you know down in your heart you can't do the right thing. You can't do the right thing. There's so many ways to spend your time. Or out of your mind. There's a way we know is right and true. So why is that the hardest thing to do? Satellites, you can sell electric cars. You can make $8 billion and spend it going to Mars. Wire everybody's brain and call it Neuralink. Oh, but you know down in your heart you can't do the right thing. You can't do the right thing. Thank you very much. We're very happy to be here at the Hive for our ladies and Mr. and Mrs. America and all our ships at sea. but holding everything in its place. And our little buddy with the smiling face, it pushes and pulls as around us he races. Oh, how did we get here? How do they know? Oh, why they be dry and we got rain and snow? We keep trying to work it out on the outside, but we don't know what goes on the inside. Say the center, it's a ball of iron. From the bend we spin on the way, just enough to separate the night from the day. Hey, how do we get here? How do we know? Why they be dry and we got rain and snow? How long can it last? How far can we go? Thank you. Okay, here's a song about a kitty kitty. Walking past the window, something caught my ear. Just a tiny whisper I could barely hear. Liz is talking, but the message isn't clear. She said, tell my daddy got to let me out of here. Such sad eyes would cry if she could sunshine gone away since the way before the big parade. She's been so down since all the leaves have turned brown. There's no way around it. This girl needs to get out of town. She said, Daddy, I wanna go to Miami. Warm wind in my hair, warm sand beneath my feet. She said, Daddy, I need to get to Miami. I need to feel my life where it can finally be sweet. Those things she say, they fade away before the light of day. But this time around, it seems like a different light surrounds it. She won't be shut down. This girl needs to get out of town. She say, Daddy, I wanna go to Miami. I wanna feel the sweet life where it ain't so hard. She say, to Miami, I wanna ride up and down Biscayne Boulevard. My baby, she been twisting in her brain. She went to wind driving her insane. Snowdrifts keep piling up outside of her door. She says she can't take it anymore. She's been stuck inside all day and all night. When she gets distressed, man, she becomes frightened. They say, you gotta hang tough, but I say, baby, cool up. Before you break down, you gotta stand up before you get stuck laying down. You know when the wind is frightening, but baby, it'll be alright when take that southern flight and fly all night to the morning light. That was, it's summer, so you really can't relate to that winter winds howling outside of the door, but sometimes that happens to you people here in Idaho. Okay. What do we got? We got this one. Yeah, that one. What is this singing? There is no guarantee tomorrow that anyone is owed. But just try to make it to some farther marker down the road. Maybe all that's happened was sown from the seeds it was sown. Or maybe it was written long ago, deep down in the code. Stars were burning long before we knew their names, and it just the same. We keep trying to find out, yeah, all the rules of the game. But no matter what we learn, it won't change the distant flames. On and on, on and on, on and on and on. Time is in steady motion, cannot be restrained. But seems like the past keeps changing depending on how it's framed. Me compared to my childhood, all the molecules have changed. But through it all, it seems my sense of self, it has remained. On and on, on and on, on and on and there is no guarantee tomorrow that anyone is owed. We're all just trying to make it to some farther marker down the road. Maybe all this happened was grown from some seeds that were sown. Or maybe it was written long ago, deep down in the code. On and on, on and on, on and on Thank you.
Thank you very much.
On the list, I always call this one the Worm, but its official name is the Supreme Worm. The Supreme Worm.
What town was that? What town was that in?
It was Paul.
Paul, Idaho.
Paul, Idaho.
There you go, ladies
It's
and
about
gentlemen.
a special weekend in Paul, Idaho.
1, 2, 3, 4.
Yeah, from the Salt Lake, Blonde Terry and Joe, cruising on Maroon 67 Camaro. track. Does a big box of bricks with some bunks in the back. Some start to wind down after the show. But almost everybody's ready to go. Oh, na 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 na, na 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 na. Kitchen with a spatula jam. 2 in the morning with the ball in the band. Then from the back room started to yell. Oh, crazy J. Ray is gonna rail. La 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 la, la 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 la. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much.
She says the wrong thing at just the right time, perfectly designed to mess with my mind. Slight pressure all coming down on me. Slight pressure that nobody else can see. She wraps herself around me, the words that move my mind. And as she tightens it up, She about to make me go blind. Slight pressure, oh, coming down on me. Slight pressure that nobody else can see.
Rico Wiseman on the guitar.
Thank you, sports fans.
He's beating it up. He's beating that guitar up, but it can take it because it's a Fender. Made in America. Made in America, right here in America. Probably on the West Coast. In this quiet time, all alone inside my mind, let my brain unwind. But I got to move, get myself out the couch glue. So much left to do. Yeah, now I'm on my feet, moving down the busy street. Fire in my eyes, feeling energy. This is how it ought to be. High life one more time. High life one more time. slow it down. Get my feet back on the ground. Take a look around. But what do I see? The whole wide world waiting for me. Time to set it free. Yeah. Set out on the tide, heading for the other side. Who knows what we'll find? Made it to the shore, looking for a little more. High life one more time. High life one more time. Moving on, moving away, we're gonna get there eventually. High life one more time. Thank you. We have time for one more song? So we're going to do it then, since nobody said no. Okay. What time is it? It's time for another song, Roger. That's what it is. It's time for another song. Yeah. Let me get the words up.
The iPad machine.
What about it? Oh, is that what that thing is?
That predates us.
Okay. Ready when you are. All right here. Just go ahead. Write it on the list that way if you want. 1, 2, 3.
It's just a fool's chase, while they're looking for a new place, thinking it's too late to make it here. They turn up the fourth rock like it should be our next stop, even though it's got no atmosphere. It's an illusion we should not fall for. You can't dance with the god of war. It's not a solution. It's totally clear that we were meant to be right here. We were meant to be right here, right now. It's just a very rich man. He's making an escape plan. He's gonna leave behind the damaged dog. Yeah, that's what the scheme is. He's gonna sell us what the dream is, and he's just hoping we will all play along. What is the reason? Trippin' Bigfoot. We'd like to thank the Hive and you guys for coming out. It's been awesome. Appreciate it.
Good enough for me. All right, this tune I also recently recorded, and it'll be coming out on an album soon. This tune is called Old Dogs, and I wrote it kind of about, maybe when you like lose a dog or a pet or something you love so much, and you kind of take it for granted, and it kind of makes you recognize that your time is kind of delicate, Maybe not just about dogs, but maybe a person or something you wanted to say something to, or call on the phone, or apologize to, or something. So anywho, this song is called Old Dogs.
Old dogs who die young, dream about the one you love. Time slips away with the evening sun. I try to live through these long days with all my heartaches locked away. I'm still here alone, waiting for change to come. Words that took so long to say, what's dead is gone, and sorry is all I've got to say for leaving. My heart must wander across the endless plains. Seasons go by from cold to spring. Never planned on living long. The youth I had I spent on love. The pain of living is an act of God. On greener grass I never walked. Dreams of you are my precious thoughts. Memories haunt me and make me smile. Words that took so long to say, what's dead is gone. Sorry is all I've got to say for leaving. My heart must wander across the endless plains. Seasons go by from cold to spring. Words that took so long to say, what's dead is gone. Sorry is all I've got to say for leaving. My heart must wander across the endless plains. The seasons go by from cold to spring. Seasons go by from cold to spring.
Thank you. Thank you.
Let's call it an ending when I'm done pretending. My friends start unfriending cause they say I changed, and I guess I probably have. But why is that so bad? To hell with their rap, cause I don't need their chains. Pretending. My friends are unfriending cause they say I've changed, and I guess I probably have. But why is that so bad? To hell with their wrath, cause I don't need their chains. Rather be wrong than dead inside. I'd rather speak out than breathe a lie. I'd rather stay true than run and hide. I'm not gonna hide, I'm not gonna hide. I'm so over with that part of my life. I'm not gonna hide, I'm not gonna hide. I'm so over with that part of my, over with that part of my
misumba wanye yepoa wanye wakwenda nenda misumba wanye yepoa wanye mema wakwenda nenda zambwanye zambwanye mose mose waniye wasakijila tatu ama twasakijile jove ama twasakijila zambwanye tatu mumpa mushingeyo zabi mumpa mushinga chaleno enda majunda ela masha 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 ela masha
Большое спасибо.
Into chaos ever after bursting into flames. Entropy. Out of nowhere, never somewhere we belong to pain. Apathy, life without empathy can be so empty. Into darkness, unrelenting, lost inside your brain. Anarchy. Stay away from gods and angels, treat them with disdain. Enmity, shedding our sanity, baby. We're crazy. After living, envy, dying, only loss remains. Agony. Overwhelmed by unforced errors, can I quit the game? Tragedy emulates comedy lately, so quaintly. In the shadows, every friend is a stranger. In the white light, underestimate danger. This I know is true, that I'd kill for you. Can I die for you?
Hey, we are live at the Hive on Saturday night with TRIPPIN Bigfoot, and they just laid down a momentous performance. And I'd just like to say, tell me a little bit about yourselves.
Rico and I have known each other a very long time. We played together in a band in the
from Wisconsin. I'm from Massachusetts, but I kind of hang out in Latah a lot.
Gotcha.
Here I am playing with them. So.
Very cool. Born in Houston.
You're a Tex. I came from Colorado maybe 30 years ago, so I'm pretty much an Idahoan by now, I guess. But
Okay, and you have a variety of influences. How would you define your sound, or what would you say about it to a person?
Well, if it was to a person, I would say it was very eclectic. We play, reggae, and then we play some quirky stuff. But some is more obvious influences than others. Some stuff is just some stuff is very odd and progressive. I think we have a slight progressive edge.
Notice that you have 5 strings on your bass.
That's one too many. But if you notice that, you notice that I almost never use the big one. So.
I did not notice that.
Okay, well,
I thought it was amazing though.
Trouble happens, then you got a big one on your side.
It's a thumb rest. So.
Rico, I really liked watching your finger work on your guitar. How long have you been playing, and what would you consider your main influences?
Well, you know, it's not how many it's not how many years you play. It's how many hours you play, I guess. But my main influence are these 3 guys. You know, no, really, you know, at least for this trip here. You know.
Any last words?
We had fun. Thanks to the Hive.
Fun at the Hive, man.
What a great resource.
It's a good hang.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Trippin' Bigfoot really thanks the Hive.
All right, thank you so much, and enjoy the rest of the show.
Hey.
Nice.
Thanks,
Thank you, Mike.
The Hive is a place where I can hang out with my friends, see lots of cool bands, see lots of bands that I love that I feel like are going to do a lot of good things in Boise.
The Hive is a place where people can come and not be judged, basically. Like, everybody is welcome.
The Hive is a place where I can just come and not worry about anything else going on, just play some music, surrounded by awesome people.
Musicians or creatives or anyone that's wanting to find their own voice or find something that they can be passionate about, the Hive is a place for them to have the resources or have the capacity to explore that.
This is a song I wrote after I read The People's History of the United States, which is kind of telling the story of American history from the perspective of the people who've been most screwed over by it. So this is called Words, 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 or Lies My Leaders Told Me. Let's see. Yeah. 1492, Chris Columbus and his crew discovered folks living in some islands to the west. Promised to be kind, then went and changed their minds, made most of them their slaves and put the rest of them to death. And if I didn't know any better, I'd suppose that the terms of his agreement just weren't heard. But it's a-getting late, how long you gonna wait before you admit that the promise was just words, words, words? In 1838, Andrew Jackson did create a paper saying that the natives would receive their promised land, made a reservation zone, drove them into Oklahoma, leaving Cherokee and Choctaw blood in the Mississippi sand. And if I didn't know any better, I'd suppose that the lion simply couldn't have endured. But it's a-getting late, how long you gonna wait before you admit that the promise was just words, words, words? In 1864, trying to end a civil war, Mr. Lincoln signed a paper saying that all slaves would be free. Soon as he let them go, in came the old Jim Crow, and the rest you know is history. And if I didn't know any better, promise had only been deferred, but it's getting late. How long you gonna wait before you admit that the promise was just words, words, words? In 1945, trying to keep his own alive, Harry Truman told the Japanese this fighting's gotta stop. Any more lives being spent, he said he would try to prevent. Then he loaded up his atom bomb, said, fellas, let 'em drop. And if I didn't know any better, I'd suppose that peace was always being urged, urged, urged. But it's a-getting late. How long you gonna wait before you admit that the promise was just words, words, words? In 1964, hungry for another war, Lyndon Johnson said a U.S. ship had been hit by the Viet Cong. And though it was a lie, he still sent our boys to die in the name of keeping communism out of Vietnam. And if I didn't know any better, I'd suppose that what ain't democratic ain't preferred, but it's getting late. How long you gonna wait before you admit that democracy's a word, word, word? In 1982, Ronald Reagan, tried and true, said he'd increase public safety, and on crime he waged a war. But for Reagan, being safe had to do with class and race, and most of the folks that he rounded up were young and black and poor. And if I didn't know any better, I'd suppose that the policy was supposed to keep us all secure. But it's getting late. How long you gonna wait before you admit that the policy was just words, words, words? Then in 1992, the war on crime and drugs just grew. Mr. Clinton said he had a plan and that it would be unfurled. Built prisons left and right, filled them practically overnight. Now the U.S. has more prisoners than any nation in the world. And if I didn't know any better, I'd suppose that the lockdown was a bad dream that emerged, merged. But it's getting late. How long you gonna wait before you admit that the lockdown was just words, words, words? 2001, weapons of mass destruction were the excuse Mr. Bush used to reinvade Iraq. And though the nukes were never found, well, the country was torn down, and U.S. oil prices fell a little bit after that. And if I didn't know any better, I'd suppose that the reason couldn't have been so absurd, but it's getting late. How long you gonna wait before you admit that the reason was just words, words, words? Now the verses of this song could go on and on and on. The lies my leaders told me are too numerous to name. But I'm a-getting tired and my patience has expired. And as we move into the future, you know the song's gonna stay the same. And if I didn't know any better, I'd suppose that one's government in all things should be just. But it's a-getting late. How long you gonna wait for you admit if it's gonna be just, it's gonna have to be up to us.
the sky hangs over. Don't be afraid, 'cause we'll be floating away.
We are the dreamers of dreams.
Thank you. Such a weirdo, you're so avant-garde, and it's so tragic. Look in my direction, now you're so motionless. See your reflection in your soul, it's loneliness. Gas on, it keeps you safe, but don't switch your matches on. Hallucinations running through the walls, but you're so finished with it all. Look in my direction, now you're so motionless. See your reflection in your soul, it's loneliness. in my direction. Now you're so motionless. See your reflection in your soul. It's loneliness.
We are live at the Hive. Remember that the Hive is a mental health resource. We have all kinds of programs, including drop-in support groups. And we are here with CLEARFRAME, and they are about to rock the house.
It is.
go check it out. It's on YouTube. Go check us out on Instagram and Spotify and Apple Music and all the places. Yeah, this next song is really special. It's kind of about loneliness and depression and other sad things like that, but basically reaching out for something bigger than you and hoping that it's listening. So if that relates to you at all, just know that you are deeply loved. And yeah, this is Silence. So the last couple songs we played are on our best and only album that we've put out. Yeah, you should go check it out. It's just called CLEARFRAME EP, I think, something like that. But the next 2 songs we're playing are actually new songs that we just recorded recently and will be put out soon. So if you like what you just heard, go listen to it. If you like what you're about to hear, stay tuned for more information. This song is called Carve Away. song, Kaylee.
If you
Sorry. Those are all of our songs.
All right, we are here live at the Hive with CLEARFRAME and just got a couple of questions. What made you decide to get into rock and roll?
Oh, you answer that one.
That's a good question. I don't know. I think I really like the passion behind it and the energy and being able to write lyrics about things that maybe other genres don't enter into. And so it just feels authentic. It feels very like we're able to kind of, I don't know, write lyrics that are really true to ourselves and maybe harder to, yeah. So.
I like the way you use your vocals to like the hardcore to punctuate things rather than like overwhelm them. And you have a beautiful voice. I was wondering, how did you get started in singing?
Oh yeah, okay. I just love to sing, even when I was little. So I just kept doing it, and I got into musical theater. So musical theater made me really like learn the technique and stuff with music.
That's very cool. Who's your biggest guitar influence?
Oh man, I don't know. I feel like it would probably have to be a guy named Tim Mateigue. He's the guitarist.
It's not Roy Clark?
No, it's not. B.B. King. We'll say B.B. King. Yeah,
Okay,
sure.
coolio. What's the coolest thing about being a bass player?
I just get to be grooving the whole time.
Yeah. And one last question for the heartbeat of the band. What's your philosophy as a drummer?
Hit it like it owes you money.
I love it. When are you guys playing again, and where can they find you online and all that good stuff?
We actually don't have a show coming up yet, right? We don't, do we? Okay, no shows yet, but we post on our Instagram at We Are ClearFrame about future shows. Yeah.
Lovely. Well, thank you for your performance tonight. I enjoyed it, and I know the house did too. So, thank you.